Can you share with us one of the toughest situations you had to deal with?
What if we have a smart person but produce toxic surrounding? If I give you an assignment, you will finish it. But the problem that the human element within your equation is disaster.
Maybe young students that are looking for a job. What are some techniques they can use to have better chances at getting a job?
It's like a business card, the resume. Make it clear, straight, forward, simple.
What if they apply and get rejected?
Can you allow me to know why I was rejected? Because that your answer might enhance my opportunity, not on your company, but other companies. Why a person go to volunteer his time?
He's a nice person.
And what behind that nice person?
Want to help the community.
Which means have value. Isn't it the right competencies that any organization might search out?
You never know. It's like you're throwing seeds everywhere.
Yeah.
And one day you'll see a big tree. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate it. Today we have a special guest. His name is Emad Al-Ablani. We're going to be talking about his journey, and we're going to be learning about human resources. This is actually our second video talking about human resources. We had our first episode with Emad Al-Ablani, and this is our second one. So it's going to be really interesting, actually. He's very well known in the NBK group. He's the group chief human resources officer. And he's going to be sharing his journey and his knowledge with us. Thank you, Dr. Emad, for joining.
It's really a pleasure to be hosted by your podcast, and I'm really keen to explore the journey with you as well. And I hope that I will offer the proper value for your followers and audience as well. Today I'm here to, let's say, share some experience, some views, insight, and again, I would really love to provide with the right, let's say, advice.
Yeah, appreciate it. So let's go back, starting in your professional journey. Mm-hmm. Tell us about how your journey in human resources started.
Well, I think the journey has 3 stages. After graduation, which is I graduated on the same year of the invasion. It's 1990, specifically or precisely on June. I received my degree in educational psychology with a minor of sociology. And, after the liberation, alhamdulillah, and Kuwait were restored, I immediately joined Kuwait University, working for the scholarship and cultural relation department. The main task of this function were to send the Kuwaiti student to obtain their master's degree and PhD and become a faculty member in Kuwait University in different colleges. So this is the initial, let's say, base that I have started to treat and handle the scholarship student affairs, whether it's from recruiting them, providing them with the financial support, and following up their education progress, contacting the cultural attaché abroad, try solve their problem, support them with, let's say, the right aids whenever they needed us. And I've lasted in Kuwait University for almost 12 years. And gradually I cruise my career path there till I reached the assistant director for the division. And then I moved internally, actually, to the administration department. And I became the assistant director there as well. During my, let's say, service years or tenure within Kuwait University, I've tried to join one of the startup private sector company. It was an internet company. It's well known now. And handled the function of human resources as a head of that unit there. So the process of recruiting, onboarding, try to attract the right talent for the company, that really shaped my eager, let's say, to really focus on human resources. And then I think on March 2003, I've joined the MBK, and since then I'm with MBK. The first role that I was in charge of to be the head of recruitment and personnel, which means that talent acquisition in the time being and employee services. And alhamdulillah, I went through those challenges through those almost 23 years with the bank, till I got the let's say the big chair within the group.
Inshallah.
And
congratulations.
Thank you so much. And within that journey, actually, which is the most fruitful, although that the initial journey with Kuwait University really shaped my personality, my leadership style, the way that I handle things from ethical point of view, values, and so on. So this is, in let's say, in a short version, my story with my career.
So, quick question: why NBK? Why did?
Well, it would be a surprise if I said that MBK was a coincident opportunity. At that time, when I applied for the job, it was an announced job in the newspaper, and let's say the employer name was, or I think they did not want to reveal the employer name at that time, just to avoid political pressures and so on, and become more, let's say, or less pressures to pick the right talent that they would like to recruit. So the advertisement was addressed as a big financial institute would like to recruit a head of recruitment. And accordingly, because at that time I just got married and I would like actually to enhance my financials, so I applied for it. And there was a lot of announcement before that announcement, which I tried my luck to apply. But unfortunately, most of those announcements were not, let's say, contact me. When I was contacted and they mentioned that you've applied for that post, I said yes. Then they revealed their name, that we are National Bank of Kuwait.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it was really an excitement. I felt it in my heart. I felt that my heart beat more. The rates of my heartbeat increased. It's a big name. It is for real. This is the first time that one of those announcements called me and they are interested to interview me. So it's a coincidence.
Yeah, it's very interesting, actually. And what was your biggest challenge in, the first day in NBK? What was your biggest challenge there?
See, whenever I think I'm like the others. When you change your career, the first challenge you would face is the adjusting to the new environment. And new colleagues, new management, new policies, new procedures, all of that are challenges actually. And moving actually from public sector, which is well known, it's more secured, less pressure. Even if there is a demand, it cannot be compared with the private sector demands. So these issues are really by itself, it's a real challenge, and things that would require a lot to adjust, to digest, to let's say feel yourself comfortable with the new surroundings, and try to focus on how to at least meet whatever is expected from you. So these are the main challenges. Now, such challenges, if it's has the human nature, it become more difficult actually, because the regular elements, which is reading policies, reading procedures, try to adjust with the working hours condition. All of these are, let's say, easy to adopt. It requires some time, and then you go with the flow. But when it comes for people,
they change every day. Yeah,
every person is a challenge by himself or herself. And the relation dynamics, what is acceptable for person A, it is not acceptable for person B. And you need to be very careful how to talk to new colleagues, how to handle those who think that you are a threat for them or a new rival. So it's very challenging. It requires a lot of attention, being alerted, listen to everywhere, try to analyze actually the non-spoken language as well, which is the body language as well.
Yeah.
You need to be very careful and to try to really be in the safe side. And again, it depends on the person himself. I'm more a person that I can describe myself extremely conservative. I think before I speak. I try always to pick the right word, because I do believe that some words, if you don't have control on it, it might create a lot of chaos and maybe negative impact on the counterparts.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about the situations with different people.
Yeah.
But I would like to ask your people management approach. Who influenced you with that? Who influenced you with the people management?
Well,
first? Yeah.
If I may describe myself, I'm a social person. As let's say a normal Kuwaiti, we sat in diwaniyas, we go mingle with our friends, relatives, and so I don't have any restriction to deal with any kind of personality. Yet I'm cautious of that various people requires various way of dealing with them. But being a social, I'm always close to the others. I try always to respect the people's space, not to intrude them with unnecessarily question or, let's say, curiosity that really might create discomfort with the others. So I can describe myself that from approach point of view, I'm mostly friendly, although that sometimes I'm a bit vague at that stage, vague to the others, specifically when I don't know well the person in front of me. So it is yet in early stages to discover that is that person welcome you at his space and give you the let's say, the authorization to talk to him or her, or is it, let's say, okay to start conversation, maybe whether it's on a social level or even professional level. So I was a bit conservative, but toward the friendly approach.
And you need that actually for your day-to-day work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's inside work and outside work as well, both places.
Yeah.
And what's your one of the early biggest mistakes that you've done and that you learned a lot from?
Well, it's a common mistake, I think. We most of the time we fall in it. The assumptions. Assumptions actually sometimes takes you to, let's say, unfavorable places. So instead of an assumption, I think I would advise always, and I was also keep reminding myself that don't assume anything. Try to have a clear communication. If something that, let's say, vague, then a question will clarify it, definitely. And based on that, I think we will avoid a lot of embarrassing situation.
Yeah. And what are some thoughts that you had about HR early on that you see differently today?
Actually, it is the people how does see HR. They at that time, and when I joined HR, which I have highly prospect about HR to me since then should have more, let's say, vital role within any institution. But at that time, most of the people see HR as a bunch of people that they receive instruction, they follow those instructions, they implement the instruction, and that's it. So you do whatever we tell you. And actually, some of the organizations that I have dealt with, including MBK in the beginning, they thought that the HR team member should only receive instruction and do, which from the beginning, it was a clear target for me to change that perception. HR should not be considered as a third-class citizen within any organization. And it is proof that I'm correct, actually. Even anyone would like to read in any article, current articles, or any literature related to human resources now, human resources become one of the most strategic function in any successful organization. So with that, my vision at that time, trying to always enhance the image of the HR. We provide good services, we provide a fast response, accurate information, accurate response, and so on. And that was actually challenged by itself, because you cannot verbally advocate such status. You need to act and practice whatever you believed in, and try to offer such service in order to be notified by the let's say, service receivers, which is the internal customers.
And do you think emotional intelligence is important?
Oh, yeah. See, emotional intelligence, it's important in any organization, but it is multiplied by 10 times for HR professionals. Because the HR professionals are the policy governors, procedures, let's say, custodians. But again, we are not robots. We are not machines. We don't deal with things related to employees' future as a black or white. Always there is a room for navigation. Always there is a room for, first of all, understanding the person that you are providing your advice to him or her, because you need to understand their mindset, and then accordingly try to convince that person with the right approach, with the right solution, even if it's sometimes doesn't match their prospects. So definitely emotional intelligence, it's a powerful tool that any HR professional should, it's a must. It's not good to have, it's a must to have.
Are there any workshops that people can learn, or do they need to maybe deal with people more?
The great workshop should start with you, because you need to believe in it. And then there is definitely a lot of courses, a lot of training programs. And if you believe in emotional intelligence and go to those workshops, or let's say educational opportunity, then definitely you will refine your capability, you would enhance your skills in that aspect, and it will provide you with powerful arsenal that really create a well-rounded and refined HR practitioner.
So what kind of culture are you working to build?
A responsible family culture. This is where I always thrive to create. Why I said responsible family culture? Because if you say only family, then sometimes the professional borders might demolished or disappear with the family surroundings, and that might be one of the, let's say, worst enemy in any professional environment. However, we care about people, we care about their situation and status, whether it's within within the organization or even outside the organization. However, we have to have the right, let's say, professional setup that ensure the organization runs smoothly. We cannot, let's say, mimic, let's say, a Diwani environment to become as a professional environment. But I would like that, the feel of warmth of family to come to the professional environment. That tells a lot to all team members. It is a safe environment. It is okay to commit mistakes. We are there to support you, even if you felt any time that you are in a shortage of energy, or let's say you need a certain backup in order to fulfill your task. So that type of sense of family should be there, but in a well-organized environment. And such surroundings actually will create a lot of, or let's say, strong engagement ties between the employee, the organization, and the leadership team as well.
And this is the thing, actually. I know a lot of people are scared. They won't really share their problems or talk about what's going on, in their life, maybe. Do you think it's a good thing to go, to HR or any place and talk about, what they need and ask for help, maybe, or something?
Well, I always inform the employees, especially those newcomer. The new employed fresh graduate, we enroll them in an induction program. And I will always keep informing them that we are here to provide you with the right advice, whether it's professional advice or even on a personal matter. If you wish to utilize us as an advisors for you, the doors are open. And the main task of myself and my team as well to help you to succeed in your career. Because we know that any career or professional career, there will be a lot of hurdles. There will be a lot of obstacles. Sometimes leaning on your own knowledge or experience might not provide you with the right, let's say, support. And you need others' experience, the other mental power, let's say, capability, to provide you with their, or let's say, the extract of their experience to avoid mistakes, common mistakes, let's say. So I think, yeah, we are there for them, but we don't force ourselves, specifically on social aspect. But from professional, yeah, sometimes we push ourselves just to save whatever can be saved and not to allow any problem to be bigger than what it is observed earlier. So the answer, yes. From professional point of view, yes, we offer our services. We provide it sometimes, even if we feel the employee in a discomfort situation. But from social perspective, we respect people's space. We offer the service if they would like to come, and by creating the trust, I think they will come to you.
And what type of mistakes do you see in HR and maybe in other companies or in any place? Like common mistakes that you see every time?
See, the common mistakes of any HR professional is to go by book. So what does the manual say? I'll do 1, 2, 3. Usually they don't go 4 and 5 and 6. Or you might go or do something 1, 4, 7 even. So because you deal with people, I think every case, it's a unique case. And we cannot have, let's say, one solution fits all. So you need to be that flexible person that sometimes go around or navigate around those rigid policies and procedures, but you make sure that that navigation will lead you to the right end. So I think the common mistake that HR, first of all, they accept themselves that they are doers. They are not a strategic partner with other business or line of business. They should actually consider themselves that way. And by practicing being a strategic business partner for anyone, whether it's for an individual or even for the groups itself, you will start to show them your value. By showing your value to them, they start to trust you, and then you become the safe haven for them whenever there is a problem that really obstruct their target achievement.
Yeah, and this is a great message for all the HR professionals out there. It's okay to do what's right. Sometimes you'll run into situations where, the book says otherwise. So you need to find another way and try to find another solution. So never be afraid to, I don't want to say to challenge the system, but to find better ways, or to try to go outside the steps, as you said, like 1, 2, 3, and trying to follow the rules exactly, basically.
Well, actually, you may challenge the system.
Yeah.
Because at the end, the system should not be casted in stone. Whoever put the system is the people that work in that environment. And the role of enhancement of that system lays with us as users. So why not to challenge the system? If you feel that such system might be useful in the past, and maybe it is still work properly now. But you anticipate that such system requires a lot of facelift to face future challenges. Why not to challenge the system? To me, I always look into any case from different angle. Is the problem from the individual or from the policies? From the individual himself as an employee or from his manager? Or even from the way that we are handling the case. So you have to have that 360 view in order really to come up with the right solution. And I think it's okay to challenge the system, because at the end, the system should serve you, not put obstacles for you.
And they will respect you for that, even like the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
They will love you for maybe they don't know that their policies are not working or something.
So I think this is the responsibility of the HR practitioners, or even anyone else. Your policies and your procedures should be reviewed. The revision should be on continuous basis. You should not have the policy and that's it. You deal with it lifelong. You need to really redesign them, to revamp them, because at the end you need that type of guidance from rules and regulation, but in a way that serves you.
Perfect. So how do you guide managers that avoid tough conversations, maybe with HR or with the employees? They just shy away from dealing with problems? Or
actually we don't guide them to avoid tough conversation. We train them to do the tough conversation. Because tough conversation, it's inevitable. You have to be it's like going on a boat trip. You should expect that the sea might be rough, and you need to know how to navigate through the rough sea. And those situations usually comes with the performance appraisal cycles. So we teach and train our managers how to handle tough conversation, how to deliver actually, or how to criticize in a positive way. Because criticism, it's an important mechanism for any performance enhancement. But it has to be in a positive way. It has to be a constructive way. You criticize and tell the other part how to do it in the right way, what is expected from you actually. And by not avoiding such tough conversation between the supervisor or manager and the subordinate, it's a learning curve for both sides actually. So even the employee needs to learn how to receive tough criticism or guidance, because at the end there is nothing personal. It is really a professional discussion and should focus on performance, not on the personal level. Sometimes people avoid such conversation because they don't have, or they did not experience situation like that. And they did not experience, this is one part, and they don't have the proper tool or skill set to run such tough conversation. So the human resources role is to really enhance that capability within the managers, and even though try to educate the core employees how to defend their point of view if the feedback was not true. So they have to provide evidence. They have to really do the proper or effective communication way. It's because such tough conversation requires two-way communication. It's not me only providing the feedback. So tough conversation is healthy. We don't advise to avoid them, but we advise really to be well prepared for it. And even the managers actually should run an individual simulation before they sit with a certain employee that plan to deliver a kind of performance feedback. Because performance feedback, I'm sure that there will be part of it positive, and there will be other parts that requires enhancement or more correction measures.
I'm going to add that sometimes things can get personal. Sometimes,
yeah,
in some cases. So this is my next question, actually, for the normal employees. We're going to go up the ladder, but for the normal employees, let's say, for example, they're dealing with an unsupportive manager. What can they do in this situation?
Well, I advise the employees, definitely any respectful organization should have at least a grievance process. So if it's really tough conversation, but it takes the personal side, the employee should trust such channels. And I really encourage all employees to approach the human resources and explain what they are, they are going through, what they are suffer from, and definitely the HR professional will provide them with the right advice. To us in MBK, we try our best to equip the manager or the ability to navigate and try to direct the conversation not to become personal. And it might be, let's say, the feeling in the counterpart, which is on the core employee or the new employees, they will feel it is personal, which is normal. But it is the role of the supervisor or the manager how to reassure the appraisee, let's say, which is the employee, that this is not personal matter. It is about your results, your performance, and this is the evidence, because even the tough conversation from the manager side should be supported with evidence. Mm-hmm. It's not only a judgmental, or let's say, today I'm in a bad mood, I run a bad conversation. Even that type of let's say, shortfall of personality, we try our best to equip the manager to overcome such, let's say, unwanted behavior or even approach while tough conversation is happening.
Yeah, and I think other organizations should also apply these types of rules where managers, I don't want to make managers look like the bad people, but
no,
okay. I know a lot of people deal with like unsupportive managers, and sometimes it gets super toxic to the point where
See, any organization have that type of managers.
Yeah.
Any organization. Organization are not immune from having those people in. See, the HR, if the HR believes that such type exists, I think it's the role of HR to be to have a chair on the discussion table. So what we do in MBK, actually we have the business partners arm within HR. And if we do believe that it is a personal discussion and it is a personal, let's say, judgment from unlikely one of the managers. So the HR presence become a must at that time. Why? Because the HR business partner would start to function as a mediator or moderator, let's say. Try to run the conversation, ensure that every part of that conversation has the sufficient time to explain their point of view with evidence. Try to put, and always there will be an escalation process. So if we couldn't manage to solve it, usually we encourage the employees to solve it directly without the HR intervention, because sometimes it is a very delicate situation. If any third party involved in that, let's say, heated conversation, it might give unlikely, let's say, results. So we tried to avoid this as much as we could. We try to encourage the employee, go back again to your supervisor, try to, if that approach did not, let's say, lead to positive at least or satisfied results, we start to, in a lower level, to moderate the conversation, just to ensure that there is an opportunity to listen to the opinion and the opposite opinion. If we do believe, based on the HR business partner, that the situation requires to be escalated, then those conversation would, or let's say the report would reach either my desk and start to speak to higher authority within that business in order to resolve it. And usually, rarely we reach that level of resolution. Usually we manage to solve it on a lower level, let's say.
And what about sometimes with the normal employees where jealousy kicks in? Sometimes, one employee is very good at their work, and I'm pretty sure there were some scenarios like that, but in other organizations where, as I said, jealousy kicks in and they try to when a group tries to exclude someone because they're better than them, or how can you spot these signs of jealousy and envy and
jealousy? It will be obvious from the way that the person speaks.
Yeah.
So it is always a comparison nature conversation. And we tend always to really, let's say, lower the tension of comparison. Because at the end, every individual should have his own or her own KPI. And that KPI should be fulfilled by your own effort. So we try always to guide the discussion not to have the comparison nature, because we will never convince ourselves or even the other part of the conversation, which is the employee, that a person is better than you. We always try to compare the employee with himself by what is the expected, what is the actual. So if we make sure that this comparison always there, then jealousy sense will definitely start to vanish. Although this is a human nature to compare themselves to others, but a good HR practitioner and as well a good experienced leader can take the conversation toward the right place, rather than fueling the same feeling that the employee feels.
And what about burnouts? Sometimes employees have burnouts, but they never really know it, or they never really say it to anyone. How can HR spot these signs?
See, the burnout it would be very difficult to be spotted by HR. At the end, we are partners with the business. And being a partner with the business requires a good observation for the employee behavior. So one of the burnout signs, sometimes sick leaves, excessive sick leaves, or excessive breaks during the day. The employee is there, but you see that the appetite to perform is really at a lower level. That's really an indicative signs that there is something wrong, and most of the time is burnout, or sometimes it's not a burnout, maybe problems whether on a professional level or on a social level. So I think a personal check-in with the employee would help, and that check-in requires a lot of, let's say, a level of trust between the HR representative and the employee. And this is why you need, in general, that HR professionals should be perceived in that way, the trusted partner, let's say, the big brother that provide you with advice. Not necessarily that advice should cater your wishes, but at least provide you with reality, a sincere advice, sincere help. And being a trusted partner, I think people will start to talk. But as I just said, there is some indicative behavior that tells you that the employee is reaching a burnout situation, which is excessive sick leaves, low performance, disconnect while people are still coming to work, run away from new tasks. You don't see that the proactive approach from that employee. So it is a real sign of burnout.
And what about team playing or working in groups? I think it's a very important skill to have. But what do you do in situations where you have a smart employee, but they're not good in groups, but they're very smart and they can do their work, and what can be done?
Well, usually you would face such people that they are smart, but unfortunately they don't like to operate within a team. So there is several ways that I can advise people or let's say managers how to handle such situation. One of them, that part of the team task to be given for that individual, and he become responsible for that task, specific task, and he will deliver it differently individually. And the role of the leader to bring the outcome of that individual with the team outcomes and put it together and then deliver the final product. This is one approach. There is another approach, to take that smart person and make him as a team leader for that group.
Okay. Yeah, that's smart actually.
Yeah. So, and it requires a special attention actually for that, because the smart person sometimes move in a fast speed that others cannot cope with. So you need to be very close to that new smart leader, who prefers usually to perform individually, to bring him to you and try to let him feel how much is beautiful to become a leader. although there is, let's say, variety between the capacity of that team members, but you need to accommodate them in a way that you become the responsible person to alleviate those levels in order to bring them to your, let's say, your energy and so on. So instead of keeping him a solo person doing a single task, actually you try to promote the leader in him by giving him some real responsibility to lead that team. So instead of keeping him aside, he start to lead that team. Now you need, let's say, the seasoned leader need to observe his behavior as well, because there might be unpreferable behavior. You need to give him or flag that this behavior is not appropriate. You need to do something else. So you become very closer to him just to give him that coaching aspect. Mm-hmm. And I do believe that the other solution is much better than the first one, which is having a reader take their data. And, the organization would be more powerful if it's working in team spirit. But that doesn't mean we don't have people that they would love or they excel more actually if they work alone. But should I promote that, let's say, behavior? Maybe yes, for a certain task. But in general, you have to bring him in to the team.
I see. Yeah. It's always important to work with people and do your best to always play with the team. Actually, yeah. And for these cases, they're everywhere. But yeah, there's always a solution for that.
But there is sometimes there is smart people with bad behavior.
Okay, so how?
There is a type of that people, and you know that. And unfortunately, those people are really extremely smart, but with bad behavior, you need to be assertive with that type of person, even if you give the chance to lead teams, because you need to manage the results at the end, and you don't want such smart person with bad behavior to destroy the team spirit. So you need to be extremely careful and to be assertive enough to intervene sometimes, to say bluntly to that person that this is not acceptable. And if he or she insists, then you have to jump in and take tough decisions.
Letting them go, maybe.
That might be one of the solutions. But definitely it's not the immediate solution. You need to gradually show your seriousness about it. If you feel that it is a hopeless case, then yes, you go for the tough.
I see. Yeah, that's very interesting, actually. And my other question is, how do you make sure that the employee is always growing, always learning?
How do I ensure the employee is growing?
Yeah, maybe at their work or something, maybe they just reach a certain point and stop. How do you make sure that they're always excelling and doing their best?
Yeah, see, in HR there is a common tools that we call it the 9 talent grid box, and we use it actually for growth purposes. So that 9 talent grid box it's well known for any HR practitioner. they know what I'm talking about. It is allow you to categorize that individual. Is he a star? Is he in the development pool? Is he يعني master, let's say reaching a mastery level in his role. And that talent grid box, by the way, it has two axes: performance, potentiality. So if you have a high potential, high performance, and then you are categorized as a star person. If you have moderate, let's say, potential, or let's say high potential, but moderate performance, so you might be still under development, and so on. So we utilize those boxes just to label the individuals and try to put the right individual development plan for each person. Now, if that person doesn't believe in training or development, this is something else. And such status should be addressed without any, let's say, sugar-coating things. But I assume anyone should reach that level that he thinks that I'm fed up of training or development, then I think it's time to leave. But those who are really eager and hungry to learn something new, they seek your help actually as an HR practitioner or professional. And it is your role to provide them with the right learning and development opportunity. So usually people are in nature keen to acquire new knowledge, acquire new skills, and so on.
Can you share with us one of the toughest situations you had to deal with? One of the toughest, and then we're going to talk about one of the best. We want to talk about the positive side as well. So stay tuned. You're just trying to know the challenges in this field. So
going back to the previous points, what if we have a smart person and highly educated, high performance, but produce toxic surrounding? Mm-hmm. I used to have one actually, and that person was senior actually, and I used to have tough time with that person because I've tried the direct, assertive way to recalibrate the behavior and try to really address issues as is. But that approach did not lead to, let's say, to a good result. Actually, it started to create gaps between me and that individual. So I was careful not to allow that gap to increase. And I brought that person to one of the, let's say, candor discussion. And I told him, or actually I told her, okay. See, I have a responsibility toward you. And you are a great person. You have, let's say, great talent. You are so smart. You are target-oriented. If I give you an assignment, you will finish it. But the problem that the human element within your equation is disaster. And you need to look into that. So I have a role to myself. And I told her that way. Usually, there is a well-known say that either I make it or break it. But I told her, either I make you or I make you.
Okay.
And she was surprised about that approach. She said, what do you mean, Emad? I said, well, I'm not going to fight with you, but I will keep nagging on you how to correct your bad, let's say, behavioral aspect with others. And I will keep correcting that till you master it. So it is a different approach, actually. And I have never used it. But I thought at that time, it is the right approach. So I was very close to her. Make sure that when it comes to the way that she deals with her team, those bad practices doesn't occur. So a continuous feedback. I kept giving her feedback on weekly basis. Imagine. So I assigned one day in that week and every week to provide her with that feedback.
But how many complaints are you getting from?
Plenty. If it comes to her team, they always complain. And actually, they don't complain about the pressure, the targets that they have. They were complaining of her way to talk to them, the way that she handles. And when you say to a person, I don't care, you do it. This is a bad way to deliver instruction. No, you should care. So I kept really monitoring her and make sure that she's always on that right path. At the end, unfortunately, she cracked. She couldn't cope with me because close supervision on that specific aspect. Other than that, I was giving her the right space. She came to me and said, Emad, I cannot cope with that situation. Every time, even if I say a single letter that it is not acceptable for you, you jump in. I said, this is my promise. Either I repair that or I repair that. It is not an option at all to leave you as is. So I said, then I need to leave. I cannot continue with that. I said, well, you are mature enough. I hope that you reevaluate your decision. I'm not going to say to you, it is accepted. No, I'm not accepting it. Go, utilize the weekend, and come back to me later on when you cool down. She tried her best, but again, within 1 week, she came back to me and said, I cannot continue with that. So, what did I achieve? First of all, I set an example to others. First of all, such behavior is not acceptable at any level. Whether you are senior or a leader or a team member. You need to work in a really respectful way with a high integrity approach and so on. And also, I was not the person who asked the person to leave. It was a mandate, a clear mandate from my own side to be fulfilled. Unfortunately, that person evaluate that he or she is incapable to fulfill that mandate, and the decision were made by her, not me. And to tell you the truth, with her departure, I've lost a person. But to me, there is a genuine rule. Everybody is replaceable, including myself. So as a professional in HR, our main task or our main duty is to develop people. Why don't we develop our own people, which is within the HR team? And so far, I have a great team used to report to her. They are still exist with MBK since then. She left MBK, I think, 2012. And unfortunately, that behavior kept recur with her. And I know from my own resources that because of that shortfall in her personality, she changed 3 times her job after leaving MBK. And actually, I'm sure that in her mind, she was convinced that I was working for her, not against her.
I think because of the ego, maybe.
Ego, or sometimes what they call there's hopefully it's there is an American saying that you cannot teach old dog new tricks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if you don't have that adaptability and willingness to change, and as well as the awareness that you are or you have a responsibility to advance yourself and develop your own capability, then it would be you put your own obstacle by your hands.
Yeah, change always starts from within.
Absolutely. Yeah. You should be convinced. You should not be in denial.
Okay. So let's shift a little bit towards maybe young students that are looking for a job or young professionals. What are some techniques they can use to have better chances at getting a job? Maybe in NBK or other place, but what can they do? Maybe have better resumes, or what are the things that they need to work on?
See, the resumes, it's like a business card, the resume. And I always tell the students, don't overcomplicate the resume. Make it clear, straightforward, simple. Because sometimes, unfortunately, some of the HR professionals lean on the CVs too much. And it requires, let's say, a glimpse of seconds. Let's say, untrained HR professional might push your CV or screened it off. So to us in MBK, usually we give some let's say, weight for the CV, but not that much. We believe in conversation. This is the real CV. Mm-hmm. So for students, first of all, having a good, simple, clear CV that describe you as a person, be prepared to have a question when you go for any interview. Have that curiosity to research the organization. You are going to an interview and you don't know anything, it's very difficult. It doesn't show that you are extremely interested to join that organization. So I always encourage job seekers, or even the student who do the internship during summertime. Don't make it as an ordinary experience. Try to benefit from it, utilize it. Have your own question. Come to every day with new question. Have your notes. Write down your notes, your observation. Try to suggest something new, even if you feel that it is silly. There is no silly thought or silly question. There will be a silly answer, actually. So, to me, I always encourage students, job seekers, to ask questions, because it is the key of knowledge. Be well prepared, and don't restrict yourself in a certain mold. Try to be flexible. Try to be adaptable. Allow yourself to discover yourself, actually, because believe me, I'm sure that, including me today, we know less about ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
So if you become flexible and adaptable and open to take any task, even if you might perceive it a silly one or simple one, you might discover something in you have never known about yourself.
And what if they apply and get rejected? Do you recommend applying again, or how do you give maybe
I think the applicants, when they get rejected, I would love also them to go the extra mile. Ask why I was rejected. Is there a specific reason? And go with that positive question. Please, can you allow me to know why I was rejected? Because that your answer might enhance my opportunity, not on your company, but other companies. So please show me where I was, let's say, not performing well from answering certain question, or maybe my body language, eye contact, and so on. So I do believe it's an experience by itself. When you go to or apply for any organization and were not picked, some people will consider it as a failure. That's good, okay. Learn from that failure. It's a great opportunity. So how to learn from that failure? Ask a question. What do you advise me to do better next time? Maybe not within your organization. And if that person keen to join, why not to reapply again?
What about the workshops that they can have on their CV? Workshops or any...
Absolutely, yeah. See, again, the CV, it's a... I've just said it's a business card and a marketing tool.
Yeah.
For the... I would always consider the extracurriculars that the student do, whether it's voluntarily based or summer internship, or even, let's say, participating in student clubs. These really enrich the student capability and experience, and differentiate those active, let's say, student from the others that they only go for lectures and do the exams and go back home. So I encourage all students actually to find something to do. The best thing is to do volunteer basis activities. That would really, first of all, will build maturity in that person, and it is extremely respectful activity by the employer.
They will as you said, they will love you more just because you did all of these things. Yeah.
That tells you more about it. Why a person go to volunteer his time?
He's a nice person.
And what behind that nice person?
Want to help the community, and
which means have value.
Okay.
Yeah. Have value. Have some ethics. He works or she works within a team spirit. Isn't it the right competencies that any organization might search out?
Yeah.
That tells a lot.
Yeah. So this is just for the viewers real quick. If you do any volunteer, if you volunteer anywhere, just put that in your CV. You never know how the employer will, view that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might think it's unnecessary or pointless, but it can actually change the outcome. So
underneath it, a lot of great things, actually, not good things, great things. We've just discovered three values, three positive things, right?
Yeah.
And if the times allow, maybe we can discover other things as well. Because when we come to MBK, let's bring it to MBK. MBK have a social responsibility, right? We have a medical hospital, which is looking to the child cancer cases and provide them with the right treatment. sometimes we send our employees to do a fun moment for those kids under treatment and for their families. That type of person, over and above on daily task, go to do a volunteer work. That tells you that he is willing or she is willing to give you more than what you expected. And that competency is actually is required in the business. Mm-hmm. So no matter what I give you from task perspective, you always give more than what we expect as a leaders.
And the fact that they volunteered tells a lot.
Yeah,
they were not like expecting payments or something. They just did it. Yeah,
at all.
Yeah. What about the certifications? Are there any certifications that are always good to have?
Absolutely. See, being the professional certification is something that provide with individuals with continuous learning. When we come for MBK, one of the major pillars of our employee value proposition is MBK being an accelerated learning environment. So we really worship education. We really have highly regard for those who are on continuous basis enhance their capability through professional certification. Now, when we come to let's say private banking, they have their own certification, professional certification. When we come to treasury, they have their own professional certification, risk, compliance, HR, and it is actually rewarded by the MBK policy, rewarded from subsidizing the fees that you just paid for, or even if there is an opportunity for promotion, then you would take the priority to be promoted. So taking the professional certification is a great aspect that we really value and encourage people always to take that path.
So MBK, and compared to other companies out there, what are some things that you tell, for the young job seekers, like some good things about MBK that are only at MBK? You cannot find it at other places. Things that are things you're sure that are not copied anywhere else.
The environment, at least what I'm living, it's a positive environment and allow people to contribute to the bank's success in all levels, whether it's through performance, whether it's through new ideas, whether it's through new suggestions, or even growing the business opportunity. And it is a safe environment. It allows to commit mistakes. Not mistakes because of negligence, but mistakes because you are trying your best to achieve something. So we have the tolerance to accommodate that. The whole organization is performance driven. There's no differentiators between people from whether it what is your social background, what is your gender background, what is your even educational background. If you perform, then you are a favorable member within MBK family. One of the good things that we do believe in, we have a motto that your voice matter. What does that mean? Your voice matter is a genuine channel that we receive feedback from the employee, and anonymous way, without knowing who said what, because we focus on what have been said. And if it's a problem, then we jump in to solve it, or at least to highlight it, and go back to the employee and tell them, this is a problem that's been raised by majority of your colleagues. What is your suggestion to solve it? So we receive the feedback, we put it in the right way, we give it back to the employee, please suggest the right way to solve it. That serves the majority, not a single person or minority. Although that the minority also very important for us. So Your Voice Matter is one of the great initiatives in MBK that we ensure that we listen to all employees through a general survey that we offer it for all employees for various levels.
And you said it's through a third party.
A third party.
On purpose.
Yes,
yeah.
Because we would like to ensure that the response is on a confidential basis. Again, what we care about is feedback, not the source of the feedback. Their personality is protected, but we know that this feedback comes from that unit. Mm-hmm. And this is why we take that feedback. If it's a problem, we pass it on the unit. Okay, we've listened to you. Provide us with your suggestion to solve it. When we agree on a solution, we lock that solution and we make sure that the leadership of that unit support the solution to implement it.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, actually. You didn't assume a solution for them. You asked them
we need their opinion, actually, to find a solution for their problem. Because it's a bank problem, but very specific to that group. Mm. So I do believe that since it is very specific to that group, then let the same group come up with a solution.
Let's go back to the employees real quick. How do you deal with tough situations of layoff? For example, maybe COVID. Mm-hmm. Many people, hundreds of thousands of, maybe millions of people around the world have lost their jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you dealt with the situation, but how do you, even if you didn't, but how do you recommend other HR professionals to deal with the situation?
See, layoffs is sometimes dictated by the economics or the economical situation that any organization go through. But if the organization have certain values, which is MBK, since I joined MBK and before that, when I was exposed to the information, I've never seen in the MBK history that we laid off people. Never. For a certain circumstances. What we have, which is the attrition rate, is the natural attrition rate.
Even at COVID?
Even in COVID. Actually, I'm coming to surprising you with the things that we have done during COVID that I dare other organizations did it. During COVID, we did not lay off anyone, actually. And because this is not the MBK nature at all, we don't lay off people for the sake of maintaining cost. I think the executive management of MBK and the board of directors have the trust that MBK has the depth to tolerate such tough situation. And this is not the first one, actually. During Al-Manakh crisis in the 80s, MBK was one of the financial institutes that did not impacted from Al-Manakh crisis. Why? For a certain reason, because we are extremely conservative. We don't rush toward the bubbles. And Al-Manakh at that time was a bubble. And the executive management were extremely sure that this bubble will burst. Mm-hmm. And it did, actually.
Very bad.
Yeah, very badly. And the second occasion was the, unfortunately, Kuwait invasion. MBK proved that capability to operate while the invasion.
Operate?
Yes, we operated through our London branch.
Inshallah.
Actually, MBK at that time become Kuwait Central Bank.
Nice.
Yeah. Provide the government with the necessarily liquidity from financing point of view. After that, the real estate crunch happens 2008. Yeah. We were immune. We actually observed the shock. Nothing happens.
Mm-hmm. How does that happen? Because I know it's very rare to have something like that. It's
the maturity level of the executive management and their conservative approach actually really allow them to take the right decisions during the in due course. So there is a rationale behind their decisions. They don't take irrational decisions. And this is where we really every time prove that MBK has the right approach for any circumstances. And when we went through the COVID crisis, it is one of the unexpected. Actually, it's a global situation. It wasn't Kuwait situation. But again, because what MBK believes of, what MBK really have ethics, genuine ethics. We did not lay off anyone. Usually, and I've heard, and I'm responsible about this statement, I knew that some of local banks did not give their employees special bonus. They did not give their annual increment. They did not even promote people. While we did those three during COVID. We increase people's salaries because it's our cycle come on April, and April was
in the middle
the middle of the crisis. We promote people because we do believe that their performance actually prior the COVID were deserve that promotion. And when it comes for the special bonus, we did distribute special bonus. And that tells you how solid MBK during crisis.
Inshallah. It's just like nothing is happening outside. Yeah.
It is happening, but there is a commitment from the executive management that our employees give their best during the normal life. Now we need to pay them back actually when it comes for a difficult situation.
And it actually builds a lot of trust when the organization, is always there for them, and they will never sacrifice their employees for the sake of their, survival, maybe. But yeah, that's very beautiful actually, and it tells you that if you want to work at any place, just make sure that place is, I don't want to say safe. Anything can, it's life, but always go to these places that will always try their best to protect you. Basically, they will never sacrifice you, or they will never try to, harm you in any shape or form if there is a big crisis like COVID, maybe. Yeah, very beautiful. What about AI? Do you think AI is gonna? I think it's already changing things.
It is, yeah.
Is there a big possibility that AI will take over employees or certain jobs?
Well, AI will take over certain processes. It will not take off jobs. Now, what we know that there is some processes or jobs related or labeled for certain processes. That job will disappear, definitely. But that doesn't mean AI will put you in a situation that you will no more need humans. Because AI would really assist you from efficiency point of view, from accuracy, and to produce more, actually. So imagine that you have your own capability plus the AI capability. Instead of doing some redundant things, you put it for the AI. AI, by its capability and speed, accuracy, you name it, it will give you that component on a golden plate. So imagine that you have this facility with your skills and capability. How does the AI will alleviate your outcome? So AI, it's a great tool that will replace processes, but I think artificial intelligence will never beat human intelligence. Still, the advancement of human intelligence will be ahead of time. But again, it's a great tool that really, it's a game changer. It will save time, it will save costs, it will save, let's say, maybe even space. It will make the services at the beneficiary hands. One of the AI actually programs that once I've saw, it is a development tool for how to run difficult conversation.
Yeah, how can it do that?
Yeah, that AI capability, first of all, it allows you to choose your avatar, okay? And then it will give you a situation. It will measure you how to run that simulation. It will monitor your voice of, your tone, your eye contact, your body language, and then it will give you an assessment. Sulaiman, you did well in that. You need to enhance this way in that particular places. Your body language needs to be in that shape.
Okay.
So it will allow you to do simulation without the embarrassment of doing training in front of people. So it will allow you to talk to that machine, and it will monitor your, let's say, your attempt to enhance your capability. And it will give you, because sometimes human, when listen, let's say they took their guidance or criticism from machine, it would be much easier from having it from a person.
Yeah, they will accept it.
They will accept it. Nobody is monitoring me. It's only machine, but it tells me a lot about myself. So I've saw that machine. It's a great program. It will give you the.
It's inside MBK. Right?
No, it is not. It is not. I've seen it in one of my business trip. It's quite expensive, but by time I think it will be affordable later on.
What type of degrees, maybe for MBK, maybe future degrees, maybe like future specialities or
well,
things people need to bring.
Degree will be, if it's not associated with capability and competencies, it would be missing something very vital. But from, let's say, educational perspective, because that might give the audience good direction to choose their studies, I would advise to go for handling data, whether it's big data or small data, analysis toward those data. Mathematical capability would be always a favorable major, I think, because it works not only for a certain area, but even imagine that risk as a function, they require people extremely advanced in mathematics, because risk would one of its wings requires mathematical equations that run risk equations need to be built mathematically. Cybersecurity is one of them. Entrepreneurship, actually, the way that people think in entrepreneurship is a plus for the future. Innovation. Definitely, it's required to be a science, because there will be steps that you follow any innovative process you are going through. Customer centricity, excellence, handling people. Imagine that one of the thing that might be extremely demand, have high demand on it, psychology.
Okay, yeah. Because I think that's the only thing that AI will never take over. Yeah, the human part.
They will build, maybe AI might be capable to build, let's say, models, but that human interaction, it's extremely difficult to be replicated.
Exactly. Yeah. See. And what advice do you give for like final advice for anyone, whether it's HR or a normal employee or a manager, or any type of advice that you want to give?
I have 3 P's that everybody should have: passion, persistence, and patience. These tools that will really give you an advancement on continuous basis, because you have to have passion of what you are doing. You have to have passion to grow. You have to have passion to challenge yourself. You have the passion to outperform yourself. You have to be persistent. Failures doesn't mean end of the story. You fail, you stand up, you go again, but do different thing. And always don't accept failure as an end result. Failure is a new opportunity to learn. So take it from that aspect. Patience, sometimes things doesn't come the way that you would love to be. You need to be patient, because things sometimes change without your intervention, from being against you to be as a wind in your sails.
Exactly.
Yeah. So those 3 P's is, I think, it's a simple recipe that I would love everyone to have it.
Yeah.
And it will ensure success.
Yeah, beautiful. Appreciate it. Appreciate you for joining. Thank you very much for joining.
It's always a pleasure. And I really, I would like to thank you, Sulaiman, for inviting me for such constructive conversation. I am always keen to help others to grow. It seems that it is an individual commitment, or let's say personal commitment from my own side, because I feel that I was privileged to learn good things during my journey, and I'm more than happy to pass on those good things and even bad things, just not to be repeated by others and benefit. And such podcast is a great opportunity to see things that works, see things that doesn't work. And even when you see something that works for others, it doesn't mean that it might work for you. Be genuine and be, let's say, observant, and try always to evaluate things around you and take the risk of doing things. Also, Sulaiman, I would like to add maybe an advice, and I think to me at least, I always make sure that I work with it and through it, actually. Sometimes people seek your advice. Be careful about what you are going to say to them. Try to be very sincere in your advice, because sometimes an advice might take a person in the right path or in a wrong path. So your words should be actually monitored before it's delivered to others. This is one of the things that I would like to share with the audience. Moreover, think of the bliss of Allah Almighty that gives us. There is a moral obligation that we have. We should at least pay back for others. To me, I've learned a lot during my career journey, and helping others should be the minimum thing that every person can offer others. Don't really underestimate any advice, genuine advice. Don't underestimate any a positive word that maybe a person in need to have it or to listen to it. Don't underestimate a negative comment that might really destroy a person. So try to avoid that. Be careful about the way you interact with people. At the end, we are humans, and there is a lot of emotions in us. So be careful of your words. Try to pick up the right, let's say, approach in communicating with people. Always try to be the right beacon for them. People sometimes go through, let's say, unstable conditions, and they need really guidance. So be that person, be that guidance, be that beacon or the light toward the end, that dark tunnel.
And as we discussed earlier, you said that people left the organization years ago and they come back to you and they remember.
Yeah. Actually, there is different occasion. In a really very, very, very casual setup. Once with the family, an ex-staff of MBK came to me and said, "Thank you, Emad, for telling me the truth. Thank you for guiding me to take the right decision. Although that I did not continue with MBK, but at least you give me the right direction, which I'm successfully in my current." And that person, I saw in the exhibition fair land, and she is an entrepreneur. She has she became a designer, fashion designer, and she has her booth She invited me and my wife to her boat, actually. And she did a great job because of a sincere and genuine advice. And actually, I did not recall her in the beginning. She reintroduced herself to me. And I was really flattered, happy to be that kind of person to her.
Yeah, beautiful. Don't underestimate words. You can, as Mr. Emad said, you can make or break someone with your words. And as he said, you never know. Sometimes you can say something, maybe you've said something 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you never know. It's like you're throwing seeds everywhere.
Yeah.
And one day you'll see a big tree,
Absolutely.
just because
Absolutely.
of you. So yeah, it's very, very beautiful. Always choose the right words.
Be positive.
Always.
Be positive.
And stay positive, always. Thank you very much.
Pleasure always. Thank you so much.
It. And for you guys, as always, hope you loved the episode. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, if you ever want to join the podcast in future or you have any suggestions, just let me know. Thank you. Have a good one.